Working. Yeah, good evening, friends. I hope you can able to see the slides and you can able to hear me. You can also send your message via the chat box. There is option available in your screen so that we can come to know if you have any technical difficulties. We are just about to start our today's webinar, that is on overview of Global Innovation Index, that is shortly known as GII, scope and challenges for India. Dear friends, this particular webinar is organized with an objective to discuss these all points. First, we'll discuss about what is GII and why the ranking of this GII is important to be understood by the faculties and students as well as the professionals who are working in different domains. Then we'll discuss which are the various parameters of ranking used by this global agency, that is GII. Then we'll discuss the top 10 countries of the world and basically where we stood as a country in this global ranking. We'll also discuss past 5 years down the line the ranking of our country. Then we'll discuss which are the scopes and challenges for our academic perspective as well as the industrial perspective. So that I hope majority of you are from academia. I think few industry participants also have joined this webinar. So how we can contribute to improve the innovation index of our country, that also we'll discuss at the end of the session, and then followed by we can have a short question answer session also. So to begin with, to discuss about what is GII and the importance thereof, I would request my colleague Shailesh to come forward and discuss with our today's participants.
Good afternoon, friends. Now we are going to discuss about the GII and what is the GII. Actually, and who is the leading with the GII and what is the importance. So the first of all, the GII is the Global Innovation Index. So it means that it is the indexes where the World Non-Profit Organization for the find out the cross-country performance assessment to update on the improve the innovation in measures. What are the updates in the innovations perspectives in the different countries and different regions? So what is the GII and their importance? So this GII is the 8th edition recently, which is published on 17th September 2015. So from last 8 years, it is publishing by the different non-profit organization like Cornell University, in SEED USA, this is the business school, then World Intellectual Property Organization, and their knowledge partner CII, DU, and Improve European Innovation Management Academy. So these organizations are currently analyzing all the statistics of the countries and different regions on the basis of the innovation improvements and finding out what are the countries are doing in the form of policy to improvement in the innovation. So main aim is to capture the multidimensional physics of the innovations and to provide the tool that can assist in tailoring policy to promote long-term output growth as well as improve productivity and job growth. So how we can improve our innovation growth so we can grow and find out the collaborative statistics. So overall objective of the GII is to find out the innovation as well as their growth with the respective regions. So this GII ranking generally includes the 141 countries and their economies. And this currently 2015 GII represents the 95.1% of world populations as well as 98.6% of world GDP. Okay. And overall GII scope is the simple average of the input and output sub-index. Means overall this GII is calculated on the basis of the innovation input sub-index as well as innovation output sub-index. These are the two major factors for calculation of the GII, which is the average of these two factors. So first factor is the innovation input sub-index. It captures the element of national economy that enables innovative activities. Means how much the countries and regions are actively involved in the measures of the innovative policies. And second is the innovation output sub-index. So it's provide information about output that are the results of innovative activities. So overall activities are done by these countries and regions. So what the output are coming in form of innovations. So this index represents the output of the innovative activities. So the next is the innovation efficiency ratio, is the ratio of both the output sub-index as well as input sub-index. So these three major parameters which are considered in the calculation of the GII. Okay. So now next, what are the parameters considered in this input sub-index as well as output sub-index? So parameters of ranking using by GII. So what are the different factors and parameters which are involved to calculation of the GII rankings? So overall, this global innovation index, it is the average of the innovation input sub-index as well as innovation output sub-index. So and these are the ratio of this input as well as output as well as input is called the innovation efficiency ratio. Now we come on the point of innovation input sub-index. So what are the basic pillars for the calculation of innovation input sub-index? So there are GII consider the 5 pillars for the calculation of the innovation input sub-index. These are the 5 pillars are the institutions, human capital and research, infrastructure, market sophistication, and business sophistication. And these all the 5 pillars also contains the 3 sub pillars. So each have 3 sub pillars. So all our 15 pillars are there for calculation of innovation input sub index. So now we will discuss briefly of each and individual innovation input sub index as well as innovation output sub index. Consider the output in the form of knowledge and output in the form of creative outputs done by countries and regions. So the output sub-index consider the 2 pillars for calculation of output sub-index, and these also have 3 sub-pillars for calculation of these parameters. Now we will go for the first pillar, that is the institutions. So what is this institution parameter consider and measures? So overall this institution contains the 3 indicators. The first indicator is the political environment, second is the regulatory environment, and third is the business environment. Okay, so political environment also consider the means how much in country is politically stable, means what are the political issue raising in the particular within countries, how much opposition is considering, how government is made destabilized by the oppositions, the quality of public civil services, policy formulations and implementation. So all these considered into the political environment. This factor may affect the GII. So if country is politically more stable and more policy driven, so it is given higher ranks. The next parameter is the regulatory environment, means how much regulatory policies are driven by the government and what is the laws and rules and implementing effectively. So extent of law, contract informants, property rights, policy, police, courts, how much they are putting their efforts in effectively in right manner. So this regulatory environment is too much effective for the GII calculation. Third is the business environment, means how much country is business friendly, and business friendly means how much investor can invest their money into for starting the business. So easy for starting a business, easy of resolving the insolvency, easy of paying taxes, how much the policies are tax free, tax payers. Okay, so these are the 3 basic parameters for the institutions level which consider the calculation of the GII. Next parameter is the human capital, human resource, and as well as the research, how much human capital is engaged into the research activities for the innovation and development of the countries. The first basic is the education at the level of preliminary and secondary level. First parameter for education at the level of preliminary basics HSC level. So how much people and government are expending in the education level, government expenditure on education on the public level, school life expectancy, PISA scale. PISA scale is the program for International School Association. So it calculates the score, which is for the how much 15-year age school students are know about the maths and science. So this score also important, means 15-year age student are knowing maths or science effectively or not. So this score also engage in the calculation of GII score. The pupil teacher ratio means how many teachers are there for particular, how much number of students. This is also important for the education parameter. Now on the second point, tertiary education, that is higher education. So higher education level, how much percentage of government are expending in the enrollment of the students, mean how much number of science graduates as well as technical graduates are enrolling their courses as a engineers in pharmacy or different technical courses. Means graduates in science and engineering, how much percentage are students are going to enroll in that. Tertiary inbound mobility, how much they are mobile. And third is the research and development, means how much this academic level of R&D is going on, means how much number of PhD student or researcher full-time students are going FTE, full-time equivalent research are there for the research purpose and getting scholarship also. Gross expenditure or R&D, how much government is providing the scholarship, all that. US university ranking, how much the top level universities are there, are they are coming in the university ranking or not. So their average score also important for the calculation of the GII. So these are all the human research parameters or factor involved for the calculation of GII. Next, third is the infrastructure pillar. That is the information and communication technology, means how much informative and communications technology involved, that ICT access, ICT use, government policy, online services, e-participation, means how much public as well as government are engaged in the advancement of the infrastructure in the form of information and communication technology. General infrastructure like electricity output, logistic performance, gross capital formation. These are the general infrastructure available for the development of the countries. Third is the ecological sustainability, which GDP unit of energy resources, environmental performance, eco-friendly services. ISO means how much certification are there in the country of ISO 14001, that is for the ecological sustainability, ecological environmental friendly sustainability. These are the infrastructure level pillars for calculation of GII. Fourth is the market sophistication, how much market is available for the business, for investors as well as export imports. That is for market sophistication, how much credit is available for the business to do the business, easy of getting credits, domestic credits or private sectors, investment, easy to protect investment, market capitalization, trade and competitions, means export import for different countries. So these are the market parameters for calculation of GII. Business sophistication means the knowledge workers, means how much knowledge driven people are working in the R&D sectors in companies, means how much science graduates and postgraduates are doing employment in the R&D sectors. In GRD, R&D sector, gross expenditure in the R&D sector, by for how much company are involving the R&D sectors for the R&D for expenditures. Innovation linkage, how much interlink between the university, academia, research collaborations, industry institute participation, private public private participation, are the linkage between the two organization, how much it is effectively going on in the country. State of cluster development, joint ventures, patent families, mean how much they are filing in more than 2 or 3 countries. These parameters also considers. Knowledge absorption, is how much knowledge is going to absorb the form of royalty licensing, if patent is going to license or not, high tech import or export or import are going on or not. So these are the business parameters. Next is the output parameter, is the knowledge technology output, how much output is coming out of these activities for the countries in the form of knowledge creation, patent filings. Okay, knowledge impact means how much this knowledge developed is going to impact on the country's knowledge diffusion, how much this knowledge is going to diffuse in the form of royalty, licensing. So next parameter is the for output pillar is the creative output, means how much people of these particular countries are creating in the form of trademark filings or in the form of designing or in the form of great copywriting. So these are the intangible assets we are doing and doing more and more creative goods and services. They are doing too much creativity, online creativity in the form of Wikipedia monthly edit, video uploading YouTube, counter codes, how much websites they are using. So these are the overall output and creative parameters. So overall these 7 parameters are generally considered, main indicate pillars we are considered for the calculation of GII. So now we will discuss about the top 10 countries of the world and position and India in GII. That will be covered by my colleagues.
Hello friends, good evening. After briefly seeing about the 7 basic parameters based on which the GII index of each country is being ranked, right? Now we are going to look after the top 10 countries of the world, which are leading in terms of the top GII ranking and the position of India with respect to where we are standing and what are our strengths and what are the weaknesses. So here in this slide I have included the brief information about top 10 countries in the year of 2013, 14, 15. So we are nearly seeing the top 10 countries. These countries are maintaining their ranks in we can say the Switzerland, Sweden, UK, Netherlands, US, Finland. These countries are maintaining their ranks with respect to top 10 or top 15 countries. Now, with respect to India, India is the rank of India is in current year the India is ranked at the position of 81. The GII ranking are based on 2 specific areas. One ranking is based on the GDP growth, that is income based. High income countries are mentioned in the second column. There are 48 high income countries are there and their rankings are there. Upper middle income group countries, then India comes under the lower middle income group countries. In our group there are nearly 34 countries are there, and out of those 34 we stand on 9th position, and our overall India's overall GII ranking is of 81th. And the last 4 on income based GII ranking, the last and 4th group is low income based economies. In that there are 21 countries. So top performers according to region wise. This is the second parameter how the GII ranking are grouped. First is income based and second is regional wise. The region wise. So in terms of Asia, we are in the area of Central Southern Asia. We are leading. We are on the first position. And in comparison to other regional areas, in terms of US and Canada are leading. In terms of North USA, Latin America and Caribbean, Chile, Costa Rica and Mexico, these are the top performers. In terms of in the area of Europe, Switzerland and UK are leading. So in our regional area, we are leading in the Southern Asian region. The GII position of India, if we are looking at the rank, we are progressively declining towards the ranking. In 2010, we were at 56. In 2011, we were on 66, then 64, 66, 76, and in just before 1 week, published the newer report of GII ranking of this year, which was published on 17 September. Again, we were declining with respect to 5 further points to the 81th rank. So our today's mission or our today's agenda for planning this hangout call is that to look out behind this GII, what are the parameters, where we are and what are the main reasons where we are leading and what are our weaknesses. So to focus on our weaknesses and to improve our performance on those weaknesses, we try to put out those our weakness points into these next coming slides. So these are comparison of scores of 2014 and 15. The variables are different variables. Global Innovation Index with respect to leading countries of and comparison with leading countries. In 2014, the India was comparative marking with respect to Brazil, China. Our BRICS countries are shown. The similar comparison with respect to BRICS countries in the 2015 were also mentioned. In terms of GII ranking, we have scored 33.7 percentage mark, while in 2015 again we have scored lower to 31.7. In this slide, the comparison of education level of this BRICS country has been mentioned. The major countries of the world is mentioned. The comparison between Brazil, China, Russia, and US is mentioned. We are seeing that the education quality or education level of our India is the major competitor countries is very low compared to other countries, right? And education is the key factor which is going to propagate all the leading or associated tasks, whether it is a business, ICT technology, innovation, R&D, or anything. So our major focus, and we are lagging behind, is in the education sector. So we have to focus on that. In this slide, the R&D expenditure and R&D score is mentioned of the same countries. Again, the US is investing more of its amount on R&D expenditure, and compared to US and other countries, we are comparatively equal to the level of Brazil and Russia in terms of investment. Again, in 2015, these countries have maintained their investment, but we have declined our investment for R&D areas. This is about the knowledge creation. So in terms of knowledge creation, as the education level is comparatively increased to other leading countries, so the knowledge creation is also proportionally as expected. The amount is higher in those countries compared to India. In terms of knowledge diffusion, what is knowledge diffusion is what we have learned. Are we able to transmit the same knowledge in our real life? So in that area, we are comparatively very good with respect to other countries. So for our intelligent minds, we are quite intelligent to apply the knowledge or solve the problem. So in terms of knowledge diffusion or the problem solution, we are scoring good amount of the ranking. Innovation efficiency. In terms of innovation efficiency, China is leading the market or leading the world. Whereas we are, with respect to other countries, we are parallelly equal to our competitor countries. India innovation output performers. So the pillar outperformers are those performing above their income groups in 4 or more pillars. Means, as we have seen in the earlier slides, there are majorly 4 areas: high income, middle income, lower middle, and low income countries. So in terms of pillar outperformers are those countries which performs very good in their segment compared to their other countries in those groups. So in terms of pillar outperforms, compared to other lower middle income countries, we are performing well compared to other countries in the same group. There were 34 countries in that area. Despite being a lower middle income group country, India is considered an influential global player and an emerging industrializing economy. India has a very strong specialization in software, high-tech industry, and impressive set of clusters and excellence. We have in next slides we are also going to see that the IT and software industry is very flourished into our India, and out of all those 74 parameters, we are performing. India is performing very high in that ICT scoring. India is ranking top in the world. Other countries of the world in the ICT area. This partially explains that country's performance in knowledge and technology outputs, where its highest score is in communication, computer, and ICT. So for India, ICT is our backbone and the leading point, which tries to maintain our ranking in the GII score. So there are, according to there was a survey conducted by the GII authority among the different policy peoples and the leading industrialists of our country, and based on interview with our leading persons from our India, top 3 priority for innovation are given as like that: provide the large R&D infrastructure support, like as the lab space, equipment, and R&D or infrastructure setup of the R&D labs is the first priority given to our India to improve our rankings. The second priority given is improve the ICT infrastructure of society as well as industry. And the third priority is given to provide direct financial R&D support, whether in terms of grants, schemes, or something like other, which the major intervention which the government can propose. So these were the major 3 priority areas given by our think tank to ourselves.
Yeah, good evening, friends. So I hope by now you get a little bit clarity about what GII is, why its ranking is important to be understood by us, because it is not like that today we live in an environment where nobody is watching us. Whether we wish or not wish, but world is watching us, and that's why it is very important to take care and keep some parameters in such a way that India should shine. Basically, individuals level, we do our best, but ultimately such organizations ranks entire country as a whole. So it is a collective effort basically that we have to take care. So as many parameters has been discussed, where we are today, that already has been discussed. Today we are in the 81 position. We started from 56th in 2010, and slowly we dropped down. So now we'll discuss, can we do some change? Being an individual, I hope many of you are students. So being a students of engineering or maybe of any other branch, how I can change and how I can contribute in improvement of the GI of our country, that is of India. So if you can see again some facts and figures, as per this 2015 statistics, there are a little bit improvement also. So always there is a, you can say, the good sign and bad sign, two sides of a coin kind of a situation. So we have improved a little bit in terms of knowledge diffusion. In the bracket, the rank has been given. As compared to the previous year, the rank is little bit much, so that's why it's mentioned. In R&D also, little bit there also growth, general infrastructure and investment, and knowledge and technology output also, we have did little bit improvement. But on the contrary, we declined in many of the other parameters also, like in terms of institutions, in terms of infrastructures, in terms of human capital and research, in terms of market sophistication, in terms of business sophistication, and in terms of created output. You can see the rank which were on the 2014, and then currently the rank in terms of that parameter in 2015. So as the GII is nothing but a ratio of improvement and decline, so our decline is more rather than the improvement. Ultimately, that's why we switched over from the 76th position in the 2014, and this year we stood in the 81 position. So now let's understand where is our stand. Because once we understand our strength and weakness, and then we have to think about and then we have to start working about to our core area, where we have basically So we can see our strength lies basically in top Indian universities. We do have 700 plus universities across the country. We do have very reputed institutes like IIT, NITs, NIPER, and many technical universities like GTU and others. So we can collectively rank these universities in a different way, because the currently what are the ranking system is available worldwide, they are not effective enough to do the ranking, and that's why on the 29th of September, the Ministry of Human Resource and Development of Government of India is going to launch a new ranking policy for the affiliating type of the university, wherein from the GTU side also we are going to contribute in this national ranking scheme, which is going to be launched by the MHRD, and later on it will be taken care by the AICTE. So that is number one. And already the government and the Department of Government has started to work in this area. The second is the citation of publication. This means whatever the publication has been done by our Indian researchers, how many people either from India or across the world is citing their publications. So to do so, what we have to do, we have to do the publication in good journals, reputed journals, rather than merely online e-journals which are not regularly, you can say, the audited by the good auditors. So here we have to also work hard. But this is again our strength, because we have many master students, we have many students who can do the good publications, but we have to channelize it. Then mobile networks, information technology and broadband. Again, you can see there are many companies like Reliance going to come with the 4G technology. Airtel is already came out with the 4G technologies. So there are many companies who are ready to invest in this segment, and that is our core strength. Then gross capital formation and market capitalization. So again, government is taking many initiatives to strengthen. This is the core strength which we have basically. Then, particularly in the area of like scientific base in information technology, as previously you have heard, we have very good strength in ICT-enabled industries. Like our majority of the companies are there, totally doing, you can say, the B2B marketing kind of the stuff, located in India, and they are offering their services to more than 90 countries of the world. So that we have to encash now. And still, we need to implement a substantial reformation in our innovation policy, so that we can take care about wherever we are still lacking. If we can talk about our ICT related policy in 1994, and then subsequently in 2004, we have laid down the policy for Indian IT and telecommunication, which revolutionized entire ICT industry in our India. So before 10 years, if you can see, and if you can think about, hardly few people have a mobile in their hand. But now in 2015, even a kid having like 5 years of age, he has a mobile which having all the applications and he can run effectively. So this is the reason of 2004 policy which was enacted at the time, and today we can see the revolution in our ICT based industry. But still, even though we get a success, the Indian IT and telecom industries could contribute even more to our economic growth and development if we can correlate with this ICT, and we can start using in our higher education in forms of IPR, in terms of institutional reforms, regulatory environment, and all these sectors. If we can give the support with help of ICT, we can do the reformation. Like today, we are going discussing with help of ICT-based technology only, right? And before a few weeks only, our Honorable Prime Minister has launched e-India campaign. I think everybody of you might heard about this through the media. E-learning platforms has been created and propagated by the government, because without that, we cannot compete in this competitive world. So now, if we can think about where we are lacking still, or what the weakness that basically we have, still we have many small and medium enterprises across the country, little fragmented. They need a support from the local community as well as support from the government side. Second thing where we are still lacking is the very strong intellectual property rights and its enforcement. We do have very good IPR law and patent law. The enforcement is comparatively good. That is again our weakness. And third is about the higher education. So let's see about the picture of SME as well as the micro, small and medium enterprises. So we consistently perform poorly during the last 4 years in the political stability. Ease of starting business, if you can see since last 4 or 5 years, there was a political hindrance. You can say the political less willingful to promote the business and like so on. SME sector, which is a high growth potential, which of course has a high growth potential, but this potential has not yet materialized because of low credit availability, because they need financial assistance which only government can provide. So again, these things government has to intervene and they have to create some kind of intervention. So one thing that they have did is they have constituted a Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, which totally looking out for the upliftment of MSME industry. And second thing that they have created is the National Innovation Council, which take out you can say the innovative ideas from these MSME, and then they provide support to the different resources. But still, we have to work hard. That means the government has to work out to strengthen this SME as well as MSME. Now, second point is the trend of patent filing in India. You can see the two different graphs. On the left side, you can see the total number of patents filed in the dark color, then total patents granted. It is marginally less than 10,000. Filing is not increasing since last 2002 to 2012 and 13. But granted, it is almost not significant growth. Again, you can see the patent granted to the foreign individuals, that is in black color, just below to the total patent granted. So black color indicates that is the foreign individuals or multinational companies who have applied in India, and then patent has been granted to them. So their contribution and their advantage is too good as compared to our Indian innovators. You can see the last line in this graph. It is patent granted to our Indian company or Indian innovators. Then you can see the decline, continuous decline from 2011 onwards. So here, I think what being the students we have to do. We are doing some projects at our academic level. If we can make it a little bit innovative, then definitely we can contribute by filing a patent. So at least this one parameter, if it can elevate, then definitely slowly and slowly the entire country's GI can be uplifted. Because, my dear, we have 7 lakh students who are passing out through the different 700 universities across the country. So 6 lakhs projects we are doing each year. So if out of 6 lakh, at least if we can file 50,000 or 1 lakh patent, let's imagine where we can be in the next upcoming years. Right side graph just indicates the number of patents granted by the Indian Patent Office by the year-wise manner. This graph again indicates the number of patents filed by in different jurisdictions by the different country. China is number 1 as of now in terms of patent filed, 5,26,000. You can see even two different colors. Dark green indicates the number of patents filed by the multinationals or foreigners in China, so that is 20%. Rest is filed by the Chinese researchers, so that is 80%. If you can talk about the US, that is the second, with 5,03,000 patents. 50% patents filed by the foreigners in US, and 50% patents filed by the US citizen in USA. Now let's directly go to our country, India. You can see over here, fourth last. Out of 42,000 patents, 80% patents filed by the foreigners and multinational in India. Hardly 20% patents filed by the Indian individuals, including industry and academia. So here, I think we all have to must work hard, and that's why GTU has taken many initiatives to support the faculties and students to come forward to identify their innovative ideas, and if they have innovative ideas, how to draft, file, and patents. Again, this is nothing but statistics, so I'm just keeping this. Indian IPR regime, as I said, we have a very fantastic law and regulation. Enforcement is a little bit big, so we have to work hard in that. Again, as per the policy, still India, we do not have an IPR policy as such, but recently the new government has started working on that, and first draft national IPR policy has been launched in December 2014, and yet it has to be passed through the assembly. Now, third thing wherein we can work, that is the higher education and research. As we all know, India having a population of more than 1.2 billion, with 50% of that population has not the age of 25. So we can say India is basically of young India because 50% population is less than 25 years of age. But on the contrary, we also face a huge demand for higher education. But the problem is we have a low teacher quality. There is a constraint in the research capacity and huge socio-economical disparity also. And over the years, India has developed a stable foundation for scientific, technological, and business education by setting up centers of excellence. This contributed to a 60% average growth rate in scientific publication over the period of 2006 to 10. So that means we can improve in this area also. Now, which policy is required to change this paradigm? What today we have been in the first position. If next year by 2016, by the month of September, if we want to see India should not slip further to 84 or 85, but at least it should improve a little bit. 78 or 76 is also okay. So these are the areas wherein everybody has to work hard. Higher education, industrial innovation, entrepreneurship, easing the business environment, infrastructure development, as well as the intellectual property rights. So some of the areas the government has to directly go, some of the areas out of which being a student, being a faculty, they can also contribute. Like government's proposals and agenda. Government has already started to revive this our innovation index. Say government has already created a separate ministry for the skill development and entrepreneurship. This is the first time new ministry has been developed. Then government has created a financial schemes to support the SME as well as MSME. Different incubation programs also has been started by the government. As I have said, government has launched first draft national IPR policy in the month of December. Maybe by this year end or maybe by next early quarter, policy is going to be implemented in our country. So that ultimately through this policy, what will be the advantage? Advantage would be to the innovators who are actually working to develop something. So this policy will take care about the innovator interest rather than only the company's interest. And we have also launched intellectual property facility centers to spread an intellectual property culture within the SME also. And government has also announced increased expenditure on infrastructures. So these are the many campaigns that government has started, like with maybe of Make in India, with maybe of Digital India, and like so on. So all these programs of the current government is just to revive this entire picture. And as I said, from students' perspective or faculty perspective, where we can contribute at maximum level. Again, let me go to this last slide. The last point, there is the intellectual property rights. If we can work hard by developing some innovative ideas, by doing some work on it, and literally, if we can go for a patent or a copyright or a design or a trademark, whatever it may be, but let's protect your ideas with help of different forms of idea, which is already available in India. Why to give a leverage to the foreigners and multinationals? If they can able to file 80% these patents in India, why not we? Does it mean we are not doing innovation? It is not like that. We are doing innovation, but only the thing, we are not coming forward to protect it. And we are not knowing what are the advantages we are about to get once we protect it. So only my humble request at the end of this session is this. So please, if you have some innovative ideas, don't restrict yourself, don't restrict your ideas to be cultivated up to your level. Come forward. We are here at GTU to support you, to help you, to guide you, to file your patents, as well as copyright, as well as trademarks, as well as industrial designs. So with this word, let me conclude this today's talk about the GII, why it is important to be understood by our academia, faculty and students, and how we can contribute to improve the GII of our country. Now, at the outset, if you have any questions and queries, we have a couple of minutes before we conclude. You can write in your chat box. Yeah, any question if you have, you can write in your chat box. Or else you can also send us your. Okay. So one question I have received from Jay Patel. What should we do to enrich our R&D department? So Jay, basically to enrich the R&D department, if you are studying in some institute, so it is the responsibility of the institute to cater that department. Right? Because they have to invest, they have to give the finance to establish a good laboratory wherein you can purchase a good instruments. But if you can, I give you an idea about how government can help you. There are different government agencies which can also support to the institute, to the students directly also. Like in Gujarat, we have a Guj course. There is a Gujarat Science and Technology Organization. There is institute at Gandhinagar. There is a one scheme known as a Ignite scheme. Under this Ignite scheme, if you have some innovative ideas and if you need some financial assistance, then Gujkos will provide you 25,000 at max for these minor research projects. Right? For 1 year, it is valid. You can apply through your college because it requires the application on the official channel. You apply to the Gujkos via your guide or whosoever the principal. They apply to the Gujkos. Gujkos will scrutinize your application. If they found that your project is literally good one, they will sanction your project. And that money will come to your college. Then college can provide assistance to you because ultimately under your name that money is. So that is number one. As I said, it is a Gujkos Ignite scheme. Ignite scheme. You can just Google to the Gujkos. You will scroll down to the financial assistance. There is a one tab. Under that, you can go to the Ignite scheme. Another option is minor research scheme, under which Gujkos also provides assistance up to 10 lakh of rupees, even to a student. But for that, your project should be of having a period of 1 year to 3 years. But I suppose if you are a UG student, your project may be of 6 months duration only, right? So in your case, then the previous policy, as I have told you, that is applicable. But if you feel you have some major projects and you want to continue for at least 1 year minimum, maybe you can extend to 3 years. Then there is another scheme, there is an MRP, minor research project, under which you can take assistance from the Gujkos up to 10 lakh of rupees. Right? So government is ready to assist. Gujkos is basically nothing but a state level Department of Science and Technology, which is nothing but a central government department. So I hope, Jay, I have addressed your question. Rather to wait for institute to contribute to do anything. If you have some innovative ideas, there are funding agencies are also available. Okay, thank you. Is there any other question? Otherwise, you can also send us your suggestions by email also. Okay, what do you consider as the other question we have received from the Jay again? What do you consider as the main reason of down gradation of GII rank of India? So, in one of the slides, as we have discussed, there are many parameters, total 79 parameters that GII is analyzing each year. Out of that 79 parameters, this year our country has performed little bit better in few of the parameters, but there are many parameters wherein we decline. One of the important parameters is again higher education, and particularly the innovation in higher education. Higher education ratio is also less as compared to our population. And second reason is innovation in higher education. Now, what these two parameters means? I think first parameter is very easy to understand. The percentage of students who are completing their graduation, how many they are going for the master's program. So that ratio is less. how many from school level entering into the college, that ratio is also less. So that is also one reason. Second reason, innovation at the institutional level. There is number of, no doubt, colleges have been increased since last 5 years. But the projects that has to be taken care by the students during their last year, final year of engineering or maybe master's level, it should be innovative. If it is not innovative and if it is of repetitive in nature, one of the parameters that GI is analyzing is if there is a repetition in the research work, they are giving negative marking. Right. So this is also one of the reasons the number of graduates, no doubt, our government is become little bit liberal enough to start a new institutes across the country. But on another hand, the quality of the research have been deprived a lot. And that is also reason to balance number one parameter, that is the percentage to maintain the. Forget that there is another parameter also very important. Balance has to be there, but we forgot to maintain that balance. So that's why number of students no doubt have been increased to take admission in engineering and pharmacy and other branches, but the quality in terms of innovation have been declined. So this is, you can say, one of the reasons. There are many other reasons, but for academic purpose perspective, this is the main reasons which is creating declining in the GII. And that's why, as now we understood the problem, solution is also nearby. As I said, if we can identify the innovative projects, we have to select only those projects only. Then the second step, we have to think, can we protect it by means of patents, copyrights, trademark or design? Then we must have to try for it. Because GI is also considering how many patents, trademark, copyright, etc. has been filed by the particular country. So if you want to literally contribute to our GII, you have to start working from today for your project. Do your project totally innovative and try to make either as a patentable or protected by means of designs or copyright, depending on the type of your project. So Jay, I hope I have addressed your question. Okay, Jay, and thank you to all the participants who have joined in this Google Talk. We extremely sorry, initially it was a delay from our side to start the session, but next time we'll duplicate, and we'll also upload this entire session by means of YouTube. So later on, whosoever was not able to join us in this online session, they can refer this our YouTube video also. Our contact details, Joy, are already mentioned in the circular. We'll again mention one particular email ID. Okay, thank you very much for joining, and let's start working from today only to contribute to the GI of our country. So that at least next year, when we'll again sit to have a webinar to discuss about 2017 index, at least little bit we should feel proud. Okay, at least I have contributed my best. That's what the GI of our country little bit get into. So with this word, I would like to conclude and thank you once again to all of you and my team.